Welcome back to the Beantown Bully podcast. I'm your host, Bosh. Let's get right into it. I know I said I was going to be no more droughts. I know, but I keep coming back. Realistically, am I even going to post this episode? I don't know, but I decided I want to be more consistent. Really, there was a drought and shit I wanted to talk about. Everything was real basic. But let's just get right into it. Let's just talk about the Xbox tax people are talking about. Xbox, why can't Xbox get a fair shake? Why this? Why that? Why is Xbox? Why does no one love me? No, Xbox, what have you been doing for us lately? Game Pass is pretty good, but you need games for Game Pass. What games do you even have? Your heavy hitters are subpar. You have Gears, Halo. I don't play any of the racing games, so Forza, for all I know, Forza is probably a pretty good game. But I'm not trying to play any of that. What do you have left? Hi-Fi Rush, Starfield. Bethesda's getting real generic, real basic out here, a basic bitch. And now that people's complaining about the scores that they're giving games, maybe Xbox was always subpar. Even though 360, I love 360. I love the games that they were coming out of. But let's just get into it. Was it Microsoft Studios that we were excited about, or was it the third party games that they had? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about all the JRPGs they had. Let's get right into the nitty gritty. Xbox has just been lackluster. Game Pass is literally keeping that console afloat. Now they want to talk about the Xbox tax. People don't want to. People are grading it on a scale. People were sucking off Microsoft, Xbox, Phil Spencer, calling him Daddy, Daddy Phil. They were sucking him off because of what he supposedly brought to the industry for Xbox gamers. They were really just sucking him off. Now let's just put this in perspective. Gears really hasn't been good since Gears 3. After that, they had what? Judgment, Tactics, Gears 4 and 5, Hive Busters. The multiplayer has never been in question. The multiplayer is good on its own, and if you just want to just have the multiplayer by itself, then cool. Drop a $30 multiplayer that you're gonna bleed people dry. Just do that. Just do that, and it is what it is. Battlefield's dropping just regular multiplayer, not having story mode. That works for him. Well, it looks like it's working for them. But again, I shouldn't say it's working for them, but Battlefield should have a lot more people playing it in general. But hey, that's just me putting that out there. But Xbox, the grading scale of their games, they're not getting past uh low 80s, no better than a 6 on a 10 score. What are we trying to say here? Are you trying to say everybody's biased against Xbox? That can't be true. I just think that Xbox has literally, at least when Xbox was getting those better scores, they were actually giving you a product. Right now, it's just Game Pass, and all like literally people were getting fed Xbox games. Oh, you want to be good with us? Hey, give our game a better score. And we all know it was. We see how people were acting on IGN, on what the fuck is it called? XPlay, not XPlay. What's the other shit? Well, the G4 TV, I should say. They were giving. Like, you seen how that what's her name? Frost was acting. A bunch of I can't. Here's the thing. A lot of these people be playing games on easy mode anyway, and then they had the audacity to judge a game. If you're gonna play games on easy mode, you can't really complain about the characters and everything like that. But also, I should put that as a caveat because usually when people have a harder mode, the enemies just become bullet sponges. They don't get actually smarter. That's also could be a problem. But let's say move past that. If you hear tap dancing, that is my dog running around. But besides all that, Xbox hasn't been putting out bangers. They bought a lot of studios, but they haven't been producing anything. All the studios they bought, they're not. Those games are not produced. I should be like, well, can you even claim those games when they come out next year as Xbox games? those are gonna be multiplats. Even if they weren't multiplats, those studios were already. Let's see a new game come out from these studios that they purchased under the Xbox umbrella. Let's see that. Let's not see a game that was already in development when they purchased. Xboxes haven't been giving us what we want. It's the games. Yes, they gave you a bunch of freebies and whatnot. Oh, that's Game Pass is what it is. I'm taking advantage of Game Pass. I'm not afraid to say that. Taking advantage of it. It is what it is. But do these games deserve these higher scores? I'm making these games are at a 10-point scale. A 6 is probably what these games are. They're good. They're not. First of all, they're not going to have any repayability. And are people even choosing those games over other games? That's what we can clearly say. Are people willing to go like, all right, instead of this game, I'm going to get this? And again, not having a console seller is what's hurting them. They need something that's going to bring people to the console. They don't have anything. Starfield? These are people who buy Xbox for Starfield? And there's a lot of talk about Xbox just going away in general and just being a third party thing, not having a system of their own. I don't know. Maybe someone else need to come in. But I think that's a very difficult to happen if they're not going to sign. Is the thing. If Xbox is no longer making, why do Xbox become a launcher? Steam, Epic, Sony thinks about making their own launcher. That's what the talk is. But I think Sony needs to have more games in the bank to even think like that. Nintendo can have their own launcher. That's what I think these guys should do. Have your own launcher on PC, and Xbox can continue off that because they're not bringing anything unique to the atmosphere. I mean, to the gaming industry. What do they have to fall back on? What what can they supply the masses right now? I feel like they do have some third parties, but those third parties ain't hitting like that. Maybe maybe you know people were calling PlayStation the indie station a while ago. Maybe that. Maybe you should get some B tier games on some games that are like they're not AAA, but they're near that for B. Maybe some C games. C games would be probably indie, but B is probably like a little bit more bigger budget. I'm thinking, but again, maybe that's what they need to go out to. Something to shake up the industry, like invest in this and bringing these no-name games, these concepts that can be used in your other properties. Funnel them into your through your like Xbox Arcade. Funnel them through your ecosystem. Build a rapport with them, and when those developers actually start yielding a product that the masses want, these studios will know that Xbox is the one that brought them to the stage, brought them to prom, to dance. All right, brought them there, and they should be doing something like this at least. Because again, Xbox right now they don't have any products to really give us besides Gears, Halo, Forza. They just did Hi-Fi Rush, was basically the hell's that zombie game they just dropped a couple years ago. Fuck, I can't even think of it right now. Hold on. Sunset Overdrive. That's the game I was talking about. We need to figure out. I feel like Nintendo know what they're good at. Sony knows what they're good at. Xbox is still trying to figure out what they're good at. Nintendo's literally those party games. Sony's those whole little cinematic single player games. What does Xbox have? We can't even say Xbox has car games because they literally only make Forza. What does Xbox have to bring to the table? Now, besides Game Pass, the best deal in gaming, remember? Besides that, what are they even bringing? Now, Game Pass, I don't think is even feasible. I talked about this numerous times. Game Pass needs to figure out what they're trying to do and how much these things are really going to cost. I really think Game Pass is literally should be only for what the price is at now. It should only be starter games, companies that we never heard of, showing a light on them. Xbox, Xbox can do something that can change or shake up the industry, there's really no reason to even have an Xbox. If you have a PC, you're good. And the Series X, people are shitting on that. It's a cheap ass console to get. I know I delved from the grading score to just shitting on Xbox all the way through, but Xbox needs to find out what made them great. I feel like they're playing a lot of catch up and they're throwing a lot of money. Xbox needs to go to Japan, get some studios there. They should be taking a lot more chances on these other studios and bringing them up to the standard. Right now, Xbox just has name recognition. Cool, everybody knows about Xbox, but nobody's really actually. What games are you guys playing? Third party games? You can play it anywhere. Halo? I first of all, ooh, let's talk about Halo. I just finished ODST, and this is not an X. This is not literally Xbox fault. This is an old game. I just got around to playing it recently. I just beat it recently. Yeah, it was trash. Again, after Halo Reach, everything was every Halo Reach was like, all right. After Halo 3, Halo Reach came through, brought it back to form because ODST was straight. ODST ignored it gave me problems. It gave me second guess Halo in general altogether. But I think they need to, just like Sony had a mascot with Sly Cooper, Crash Bandicoot, Nathan Drake, freaking who else? God of War. They need to. Xbox needs to find out who their new mascot's gonna be. Who's gonna be the new face? Right now, I think Spider Man's their guy. They're running with Spider Man and Sonic. They're running with that the superhero thing. Now people's like, oh, Xbox probably copy that, get their own superhero, um, get their own superhero, comic book superhero. I don't think so. I think, well, that might work for them, but do they have the time and everything to produce that type of game? Because who are they gonna go to make it? I don't think they even have anybody to go. Maybe, if we're looking at it, give them a Punisher type game. You know, maybe Punisher can be their wouldn't be mascot, but they have gears. They might be able to use something with Punisher. I don't know. I feel like the Gears gameplay can be used in other games. They had Bulletstorm, which was their kind of thing, but that was that was first person. I feel like they just need to do. I feel like Xbox need to do something now. It's sad that we're having all these issues with Xbox in general. You people can't complain about the grading score in their games. It's just okay. They're not feeling that awe when they play the games. Sega went out of business and everything, but you can say that some of these games you played for Sega, they left an impression. When was the last time Xbox left an impression on you when you played one of their games? I'm playing The Last of Us 2 now, and again, I dropped it per the back. There was like a lot of that came back to it. At least that game is impressionable. I dropped it because this is problems with me, but I keep coming back. There's no way I can say it's a shitty game. That's never been. There's a lot of people arguing, but that's never been a problem. But just to wrap it up with this Xbox talk, Xbox games haven't been moving the needle. They've been giving us what we've been accustomed to, and they haven't pushed it in such a way. Or, you know what? I feel like Xbox is cereal. If you want to talk about it, Xbox is cereal. It's consistent, but it's not consistent. If you leave it alone too long, or the quality of game they give us is just subpar, and then the longer they stretch out these IPs like Halo, Gears, Forza, we're starting to see some cracks. It's starting to get a little soggy. All right, now let's go to PlayStation. PlayStation is like let's say like it's like pizza. You're getting a new topping, even though the core is still the dough and cheese. But the new topping is what's getting us excited. So when we see an Uncharted, when we see a Spider-Man, what's coming out later on is Wolverine. When we see these type of games, we're like, this is what we're The Last of Us. We know like the bones of the games is what it is. But we see it and we like it. Xbox, the milk has already got got a little clumpy, dog. It's starting to get a little solid. It's starting to expire. Xbox needs to freshen it up, dog. Give us a new flavor, dog. And it's sad because Xbox really was. I was with Xbox from the very beginning. Xbox One, the Duke controller, this Juke controller or Duke, whatever it was called. I had that. Blue Flame, I had two of them. 360, I had three of them. The Xbox Series, I have that one. The Xbox, oh no, the Xbox S, not the Series, Xbox S, I have that one. Now, Game Pass is what's the only thing that's keeping me. What is left for Xbox? What can they do to bring back the fans? Now, being number one in America, that's cool, but money wise, you guys are not doing nothing. You guys are not producing. You need something. And what you need is to step out the bubble and give us something. I think they need to get an IP that's not already established. They probably need to really delve into the out of the US, Japan, Korea, bring something that we're not seeing already. I think they own the Yakuza series now. I may be mistaken. But again, bring something we're not getting from anyone else. And that's how they'll stay in the game. Bring something that we're not getting anywhere else. Again, if you're gonna produce a Gear 6, okay. That the chick as being the lead as a new character, I don't think her story is even hard hitting enough for me to even continue to even care about. Like Dom, him chasing after his wife, him getting suicidal, him giving up hope, he finally getting her, and then fucking they liquefy her. That shit hit me here, dog. Oh, you guys can't see me, but in the heart, the trailers, from Gears 1 to Gears 2, the fucking executions, the meat shields, that's the type of shit. They brought in like mini open worlds in Gears 5, and that shit was short as hell. Like, you really thought having these little open, I'd rather have a good 6-7 hours of actual move from point A to point B type maps than this full semi open world or sandboxy type map that has nothing in it. That was trash. Gonna have me try to search around for fucking collectibles. I wanted to wrap it up, but damn, Xbox got me so tight because these guys, they have again, they can delve into the studios. Killer Instinct 2, supposedly, or the remake or whatnot, wasn't a bad game. I think they need to partner with people who actually really be out in these fighter streets and put up some numbers. Get Clay Fighter, update, make their roster bigger. Get some of these names and bolster the roster and bring it out. We want to see, you know how crazy it would be to see an Xbox game at Evo, an Xbox fighter at Evo. We got Street Fighter, we got Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball's been dropping a bunch of shit. They're throwing anything they can out there for fucking any genre. They might as well have a detective Dragon Ball Z game at this point because they tried a fucking. They got the open world, they got the fighter, they got the MMO type fighter with Xenoverse. They got that Xenoverse did a bunch. Now they have the Breakers, which is like the fuck is it like the chainsaw the chainsaw game, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean Texas Chainsaw, and then they also have just like Jason. I'm trying to remember what started it all. Dead by Daylight. That's what started it all. They have that. Like they took that concept, that whole 1-on-5, 1-on-4 thing. You're a regular human. You're trying to do all these things. They have their spin on. At least they're trying something different. What's the point of having all these IPs that you can delve into and you can't? I think Xbox need to spend some more money and bring back these older games. Give me Army of Two. EA ain't doing nothing with the franchise. Buy the rights and bring it back. Give me one, two, three, right? Army of Two one, Army of Two 40 day, Army of Two day, Devil's Cartel. Bring me all three of those games. Bring the servers back online. Throw that shit in a bundle. Hit it with the 60 if you guys have to. I don't want the 60, but let's just get you guys want the money or whatnot. Boom. Hit it to 60 and we'll be good. Bring back some of these older games that have a cult following. Update the graphics. If you're really trying to like at least bringing back these games and selling it through the Xbox store in general, that's what will keep the Xbox name out there. People can say all they want, like, "Oh, I'm not buying from the Xbox store," blah blah blah. Cool, shut up. I'm not talking about those guys who trying to stand on principle. I'm not gonna. No, if that's where the games are, people can complain all they want. If that's where the games are, people are gonna go. I get most of my games off Epic Store. A lot of them are free, but I be getting my games there. Epic be holding me down, and I gotta. If the game I want is in the Epic Store or it's in the Steam Store, I get on that. If it's the same price, I get on the Epic Store. Whichever one's gonna give me the better deal, but if it's the same price, I usually get on the Epic Store. That's what I'm talking about. I've been talking for a bit, and it's only been about the Xbox tax, but I've been jumping around, but I just want Xbox to do better. There's a lot there. Again, Xbox, we're treating Xbox like a stepchild. It's just that you can't buy. You're trying to buy your way in. Xbox doesn't have enough to support people. Yeah, you can throw people like a year of Game Pass for them to give you better grades, but at this point, that worked a while back. But at this point, you, I said this. I've definitely said this in multiple podcasts. You guys need to team up with some lower names streamers that can pull in, let's just say pull in less than 1,000. Like people's pulling up constant like 500 to 1,000 people on their stream. People who's getting at least a K in views. Throw them some codes. Throw them some, build them up. And, they're still buying love, but build them up. If you work with these guys and girls, and again, you build them from the ground up, hey, you throw some codes, they get some streams, da, da, da. Again, you're not going to see that pullback. You're not going to see that pullback, like that recruit immediately, but throwing it out, people giving their honest opinions about games, because we don't want people just lying out the ass. We want people to play the games on a mode that's acceptable to review at, and they'll spend those people who are streaming those games, those games, those Xbox games, will be more inclined to put in more hours to stream longer those games. They'll probably stream those games from beginning to end. Do I don't know. Is it called platinum on? It's not even called platinum. What's it called? Is it gold? Gold on those games. Like get all the achievements, achievement hunters. Talk to those guys. Have them promote your shit. These guys in the industry, they already been used up. They don't even want you for anything because you probably already gave all of them years of Game Pass. And like, all right, fuck it. We don't even need to fuck with you right now. These other no name streamers that pull in a good amount, some of them pull in less than an amount, whatever. Those guys, you should get to them before they blow up and use them and they'll be using you ipso facto to build the community of Xbox games that you want. Now, they shouldn't be lying on their streams, but if you want someone to give you that full view of your game, unbiased view of your game, that's what you need to do. We already know these bigger companies, they get so many games, they're not really putting any time and effort. They're putting people in front of those games who don't even like the genre. Stop. Let's get people who actually like the genre playing the genre games that they should be playing. Let's talk about those guys. I think that's the actual issue. You're giving it to these bigger names and having them review your games, and those guys are not even the guys who should be reviewing it. because most of them are swamped with games they got to play. They'll be like, oh, I can put in 3 hours into this game, 3 or 4 hours of game, or the person who actually played the game, somebody else will be actually reviewing it. It again, they do that for both. They do that for all consoles. IGN is like one of the biggest ones who be doing that. Those guys you should ignore, push back. I should just say ignore completely, but like fall back from them. Start to the streamers, the guys who's like, yo, streaming is their day to day, blah blah blah. Give them a review code. Maybe give them a little. Giving people review codes goes a long way. Of like, hey, try out our game, da 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 da. And what does it cost you? Because if you tap the right people, what does it cost you? They're gonna promote your game hella long. And all you have to do is like, again, with these type of guys who promote your games, all you have to do is like, hey, don't stream the ending. I know we got a twist ending, but please don't stream the ending. Or at least wait until blah 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 before you drop the ending on your thing. That's all you would have to do. These are the type of things you can these are the type of things you can do with these guys. I've been going on a whole tangent about Xbox. Xbox should be doing a lot better than what it is. It's just spent money willy nilly. And I most likely brought these points up last time I talked about Xbox in length. But Xbox something needs to change with Xbox, and it shouldn't be going down the way it is.